started a Power BI desktop, when you installed a Power BI desktop, and I given a high level information regarding all the tabs that we have, the fields tab, visualizations, relationship view, data view, and report view. Then after, I started a discussion regarding the fields, whatever the options that are available on a table level, I covered. New measure, new column, quick measure, and edit query were not covered. We are done with the remaining options. Then after, I started a discussion regarding the filters. Like I explained, the visual level filter, page level filter, the report level filter, I explained. And then after I said that for each filter, you have two different categories will be there. One is basic and advanced. Basic filtering is going to give you the distinct values. The advanced filtering, you can provide a condition I mentioned. So then after, we saw how to display top n categories, like top 5 cities, top 5 countries, or top 5 salesmen, like how you can calculate. I showcased that one. So till that place, we are done. And we need to continue with the drill through filters, how you can configure drill through filters. I think there is a concept called relative date filtering is there. We need to cover that one. There is a small option. And then after drill through filters, we need to cover. Then after, the options associated with the column level. And then after, we need to continue for what is the new measure, new column, or quick measure option. That is what we are going to cover. Okay. So people who ever attended a large session, that is fine. If not, we already updated that drive. You can go through that video also. Okay. So now the next one is, let me take a fresh Power BI report. Okay, fine. So the next one is we observed page level filter, report level filter, the drill through filters concept. So drill through filters, this feature was introduced 2 months back. So before that, we don't have this concept. So what is the drill through filters concept is, if you want to showcase the high level information as part of one of your report page and a detailed information as part of another page, and if you want to navigate between those two pages, at that time you can use a drill through filters concept. By default, in a Power BI, you cannot navigate from one page to another page. By default, you cannot navigate from one page to another page. So as I said, Power BI reports have multiple pages, and you can have a dashboard which contains visualizations from different pages. You can have this kind of navigation, dashboard to report navigation, but report page to report page navigation is not there by default in a Power BI. That was introduced with the help of two concepts. One is bookmarking. The second one is drill through. With the help of these two features, it was enabled up to some extent. From the last 2 months, from last 2 to 3 months, we have a very good features came in Power BI. With the help of these two things, the navigation from one page to another page was enabled. Now, what is a drill through filters concept is, so as part of a drill through filter, like it's kind of a drill through reports as part of your SSRS. So here it is going to showcase the high level report as part of one page. A high level summarized report we are displaying over here. And whenever user wanted to see a detailed data of that one, you can design another page which is going to be a detailed page. Whenever user clicks on it, user will navigate from here to here by passing a value. It will pass a value, and whatever the value that you passed, that will be applied on this page, and that will be showcased here. And user can be rolled back to main page and select whatever they want. That will be passed to this page, and it will be showcased the values whatever you pass. So in order to understand a drill through filter, you require two things on a high level. One is the main page, second one is a child page with a detailed functionality. Then after, you are going to configure a drill through filter, and then after we'll see how you can interact. So now I am designing a 2 pages. One page I want to display a table. I want to display a table which contains, from tomorrow I will change the data set. Why? Because in the evening batch also she is using the same data set, right? I will change the data set from tomorrow onwards. State wise, the city wise, the number of transactions I am representing. So generally these kind of requirements will be there, like whenever you are working on a sales projects, like we have sales territory will be there, which is nothing but a country. The product will be there, product family, product category, product subcategory, product name. That is different hierarchy will be there. The business owner want to see, first of all, country wise, product wise, do I have a sales or not, they want to see. That's it. So country wise, product category wise, product name wise, do I have sales or not? Yes or no, we are going to represent with respect to a table. Yeah, that is the one page. The second page, they are going to see different KPIs. Third page, they are going to see different KPIs that you used to create long back. We used to create like that. Now, here what I am representing is like state wise, city wise, number of transactions I am representing. Okay, and on the second page, I am representing some city level KPIs. The city level, the amount paid, and city level, the profit, city level the profit, or the overall pending amount, whatever different KPIs I am calculating, and I am representing a different KPIs over here. Now this is the parent page which contains a high level information, and whenever I click on Hyderabad, whenever I wanted to see the Hyderabad information, I need to navigate to this page, and this need to showcase only Hyderabad information. That is what the outcome of a drill through. So now I create a parent page, I create a child page. How you will enable a drill through is nothing but whatever the value that you wanted to pass it to the child page, you need to select that column. I want to pass the city name and add that column as part of a drill through. That's it. So now go to your parent page, right click on it, you have an option called drill through, and here the page name is page 2 I mentioned. Let me create as a child page, or I will call it as a parent page, whatever. So here whenever I click on Mumbai drill through, whenever you click on it, it is asking for a, like, it is going to showcase the number of the pages where you can perform a drill through. Here it is a child page. If you have a multiple pages, it is not going to showcase those pages. Okay, so it is not showcasing a page 1, it is showcasing only child page, because the drill through was enabled over here. You applied a drill through filter called city name. So go, like, whenever you click on a city, drill through the child page, whenever you click on it, that value will be passed to here. You are able to see the Chennai data. Chennai relevant data is getting displayed, and you can go to the previous and a Guntur, drill through the child page. It is getting a Guntur, so that is passing a Guntur to the child page. Similarly, Vellore, it is passed a Vellore to here. So like that, if you wanted to see a detailed page, or if you want to drill through to the next level, you can use the drill through filters. So configuring of a drill through filter is nothing but create a parent page, create a child page, whatever the filter that you want to pass to the child page, you need to add that column in your child page drill through filter. Automatically that functionality will be enabled, and you can pass whatever the value that you want to that child page. It's not only for the table, you can use it even as part of a bar chart also. Let's consider a bar chart which is representing like a city wise some KPI. I want to see a detailed report, include the child base. That value got passed, Hyderabad. So it is need not to be a table, it can be a bar chart or pie chart or donut, whatever. You can navigate from a parent page to child page. And here it is not at all, not only a single column, you can pass a multiple columns also. Here consider that I am representing state wise, city wise, book name wise, the number of transactions. So, and or you can consider book name wise amount paid. Understand this one clearly. State wise, city wise, book wise, the amount paid. So whenever, if I select a Guntur, drill through, I am selecting a first record. Observe, I am selecting a first record. Which is nothing but the amount paid is 1200. I am selecting a child base. The amount paid, it is saying 8000. 8000 it is saying the amount paid. But your parent base, the amount paid for a Guntur is 1200. Here the Guntur was passed, but book name is not filtered. So on the child page, it was filtered for only Guntur. It is not for book name. So that's why the complete value is displayed. So if you have a question that, boss, can I pass only one parameter or multiple parameters? Yes, you can pass a multiple parameters. Add a book name also over here. Add a book name also there. Go to your parent page. Now filter Hyderabad C#. Child page. It is showcasing 3000. Why it is showcasing 3000 is Hyderabad C#. 1 second, which value is selected? So Hyderabad C# 3000 is there. Even now select Guntur C++ again. Child page. It was filtered for a C++, Guntur both, which means it passed 2 parameters. It will pass 20 parameters also based on the context. Based on that context, it can pass n number of values. So whatever the value that you want to pass, you need to provide here on your child page. So this is how you can configure a drill through report in a Power BI or drill through filter. So now, as part of a further extension, so from a parent page to child page you are coming. So Vijayawada Java, you are getting here. Vijayawada Java both came here. It is filtering here. And now, if I want to go to parent page, we have an option here. We have an option here. It's not going like this. We have an option here which will take you to the parent page, which is not working here. Even if it is not work there, fine. So here, this is the button. We used to call it as a back button. The back button, you can enable a functionality. So here you can configure the properties, like what is the width of it, the line width, and what is the color, what is the transparency. The transparency is nothing but 0, which means the full color towards 100, the color will get saturated. Okay, so that is what a transparency. And a fill is nothing but between the two lines, with what color you want to fill. You can fill with anything, whatever you want, you can fill it. Okay, and the transparency towards 100, that will get saturated. 0, it's a full. And rotation, how you want to represent that arrow mark. That is what a rotation. And a title, understand from here onwards, for all the visualizations or all the objects that you are representing in a Power BI, there are some properties which are common. Those are title. For each and every object that you are representing in a Power BI, you can provide your title. What it represents. You can represent some title. So here you can provide some title. Parent page or main page. I can represent some title there. Then after, I can increase the font size, font family, and alignment, and a font color, and a background color for that title. So you can provide this configuration. And then after, the background. For the complete object, you want to provide any background color? If yes, you can provide a background color. The transparency is 0 and towards 100 the other one is. And lock aspect, you don't have any functionality for it, no need to worry at all. Border, you can enable a border. And general is nothing but where you want to place. That one, and what is the height and width, which can be managed with the help of a mouse, or you can specify the pixels also there, the position, X position, Y position you can mention. So that is what a general, border, background, title, rotation, fill and align. We'll look into the link after 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so this is how you can configure. We configured it, but there is no functionality. So now we'll test that one by deploying that report in a service. Save as. So don't worry about my numbers. After my institute start, this is the 50th match from December 10th. Okay. I saved that report and I'm publishing. So I'm publishing as part of one of the workspace called dev environment. So here the workspaces. You don't need to worry about this one. I'm going to explain the service and everything. So drill through report we publish it now. So here now if I click on Hyderabad and C#, so here this is a child page we navigated. Now whenever you click on it, see it is going to the parent page. In a desktop it is not working. So but whenever you click on it, so you saw the detailed report, whenever you click on it you can go to the parent page. And whenever you are designing your child page, you are going to take care something like so whenever you select that value, the value is getting populated, right? So the same functionality we are going to accomplish as part of this drill through also. Okay, whatever the values that you are passing to your child page, I will mention that, like at the time of designing I will mention that the city name equal to all, book name all I will mention. Whenever you pass a value here, whatever the value that you passed I will display here. City name this one, book name this one I will pass, I will display. By implementing a similar functionality like this, however you are able to see whenever I selected some value is getting filtered, right? The same whatever you are filtering, that value is getting displayed. Like that we are going to showcase. We'll see all these things later, but for now this is what the functionality of a drill through. And whenever you publish, the back button will be enabled. Now there is one property I stopped it, the link. Sometimes you want to go to back, or sometimes you don't want to go to back. If you don't want to go to back, you can disable it and save it and republish it. I'm republishing it. So I published, and so now let me open the report again. So go to the parent page, drill to the child page, and now this was disabled. This was disabled. So now if you want, so like if you want to enable, you can enable the link. If you want to disable, you can disable the link. These are the properties of the back button, and this is how you can configure the drill through filter. So that's it about a drill through filter. Anyone has any questions on it, how to configure and what it is, what is the functionality? Anyone has any questions? Amit, Arup, okay, Bala, Ranjit,
No, Srinivas.
okay. Amit, if you are speaking, I'm unable to hear you. Okay, so you need to increase your volume. Fine. So if you have, like, I'm unable to hear you, Amit. If you have any questions, for now, just give me a ping. Okay, fine. The next one is
Srini, whenever you enable the drill through for particular single item, right? So it's any option like at a time we can enable the multiple item.
that is what I already showcased, right? So here we pass it to right or not?
Yeah.
So if you want 10 items, you can pass 10 items. Is this your question?
No, so directly, not manually, you have to do it, right?
Like, can you please repeat your question?
Yeah, suppose there is a 5 item and we want to 5 item at a shot enable, not directly going to the single item and enable it. For at a one shot we need to enable it, like 5 or more than that. So is it any option is available?
We don't have that option. But can you, like, let me understand correctly. What do you mean by single item? So you want to select multiple values, is it?
Yeah.
You don't have that option.
Okay.
I was able to select 2 items as you are able to see. Okay, but I cannot send the values to the drill through. For now, that option is not there. And at the same time, you have a on-click drill through also not there. There are some tools, like especially mobile and some other tools. Whenever we click on it, it will drill through. That kind of functionality also not there.
Okay.
Yes. So that is what it will through filters option. And we discussed yesterday regarding the visual level filter, page level filter, report level filter. And there is a concept called relative date filtering is there. A relative date filtering, it might be at a visual level or page level or report level. Whenever you use a date column, you can perform, like, whenever you use a date column, it is going to showcase the relative date filtering. So here, even if you use the date at a visual level filter, you have 3 options. Like, as it is visual level, you have 4 options: basic, advanced, top n. Yesterday we discussed relative date filtering. Whenever you perform relative date filtering, it is giving you an option that in this or in the last, in the next. So you know about a time intelligence functions. So as part of any reporting tool, we have a time intelligence functions are there: MTD, YTD, QTD, the previous day, previous month, previous quarter, next day, next month, next year. Okay, so it is going to give you time period data. So similarly, leave about time intelligence for each and every company and almost all the reporting tools or all the reporting teams, they will have a operational reporting, or they will have a reports in such a way that last 15 days, last 7 days, last 30 days data they used to represent by writing a query that get date minus 30, like date add of get date comma minus 30 comma whatever the day. So you are going to write a SQL query which will get only last 15 days data or last 30 days data or last 1 month data. You are going to retrieve it, you are going to display it. At that time, what you are going to do is you are going to load only last 30 days data and you are modeling it, you are displaying it. But I don't want to do it like that. I want my model is a generic model. Based on a requirement, I am going to tune or prepare my reports. In that context, instead of restricting your data to load only last 30 days data, here you have an option called relative date filtering. With the help of relative date filtering, you can mention whatever the period that you want. You want the last 5 days, last 10 days, last 30 days, last 30 years, last 30 months, Or sometimes there is a concept called context, row context or filter context. Whenever you went for an interview, people will ask you, boss, what is the difference between the row context and filter context? That will be failed. So whenever you are working on the context, the other thing is called next values will be coming to picture. So here the simple thing is, whenever you are working on any filter, you will have an option called a relative. So whenever you mention a relative, you will have an option to provide last, next or this. Last, you can consider for now, last consider last. I want last 1 year data. If I have last 1 year, it is going to give the last 1 year data. What it is saying was from the 1st 23rd 2017 to 1st 22nd 2018. I don't have any data. So this data set I was prepared in a 2016. Okay, not in 2017. So 2016 I prepared, and that's why you don't have any data. So if I mention last 2 tab, so it is saying that boss, this data is displaying from 1st 2013 2016 to this one. So this is at a report level. So complete page it is going to filter. So if you want to filter this kind of thing, so this is for a user level. With respect to developer level, they want to keep the same function, same requirement is they can take the transaction date, report level or page level, wherever you want. You can mention the relative date filtering, and you can mention that in the last 30 months I want to apply that filter. Last 30 months. So last 30 months data or last 30 days data, last 7 days data, you can provide a filter. So I'm saying, instead of restricting your data set to load only a specific period data, we are going to load a generic data, or we are going to connect to a generic model, and with respect to visualization or with respect to page or with respect to report, we are going to apply this filter, so that you don't need to restrict at a query level. So that is what relative filtering at a date, and we are going to see the slicer with a date, and we are going to see the DAX functions. There you are going to see a function called context. At that time you will get understanding clear picture. So that is what relative date filtering, and that's it regarding the filters concept. Yesterday we had a discussion regarding all the concepts, and today we had a discussion about that relative date filtering, and most mainly the drill through filters. That is what a filters. Why I explained the filters concept is, in last session we started a discussion of the properties associated with the table. We are done. The next one is the properties associated with a column. As part of a column, the first option is filter. So this filter, so whenever you click on it, it will come to the page level filter. So instead of explaining at that place, I explained before itself what is a filter, what are the different types of filters, how to configure, everything I covered. So the first option is adding a filter, that you know now. New hierarchy. The hierarchies we are going to have a discussion as part of a tabular cube in next 2 or 3 days of time. And new measure, new column, quick measure, we'll understand in some time today. Rename. If you want to rename a column, you can rename it. If you want to delete a column, if you want to hide a column. Why you need to hide a column is, as part of your fact table, you are going to get the ID columns, right? So you have a product ID, or a currency ID, or whatever, you will get a ID column, name column, and a values. Or if you are smart enough, you don't need to get that, but as part of a generic use, we'll have our fact table contains IDs and the names both, along with the measures. So at the time of creating your fact table or fact query, we'll add our ID columns, and as part of a modeling inside a PowerBI, we'll get ID columns, because whenever you perform a join on an ID, that will be faster than performing a join on a name. So you will get IDs over here, that ID columns will be helpful as part of your modeling or to get the data from a multiple tables. But that ID columns means the key columns, or you can consider that whatever the country ID, currency ID, product ID, whatever you have those columns, that will not be useful to the end user. We are not going to display IDs, we are going to display values. So that ID columns will not be useful to the user. Then what is the need to enable it? What is the need to display it? So you can hide that columns. So if you want to hide a column, you can hide it. And if you want to see the columns which are hidden, so I am hiding a specific column. If you want to see the hidden columns, you can see actual cost was hidden. And if you want to re-enable it, unhide all. Next one is collapse all and expand all. Expand all is going to expand all the tables, and collapse all is going to collapse all the tables. And collapse all, expand all. The next one is properties. If you wanted to provide some description to your column, you can provide a description. Whatever you provided, that will be displayed over here. So whenever you hover it, it is going to display city info displaying. For book name and all, it is not displaying anything, but for city, it is mentioning city info. Why? Because we provided some text here. So if you want to provide any annotation or any description, you can add it as part of properties. And expand all is going to expand all the tables. Collapse all is going to collapse all the tables. Unhide all, it is going to unhide all the columns or tables. View hidden, which will display the hidden things. If you want to hide, or if you want to delete, or if you want to rename a columns, you can make it. And adding a filter is like if you want to apply filters. And a new group is nothing but, by default, whenever you create any visualization other than a table or a matrix. So as I said in yesterday's session or in the first session, we are going with a proper flow. As part of this class, next class might be in another class, we'll discuss all the windows first, then after visualization, or then after data sources, then after edit queries. All the visualizations will be covered with respect to that functionality, properties and everything. So as part of this explanation, I'm just using those visualizations. Now, as part of any visualization, whenever I use a specific column, by default what will happen is, it will perform a group by. One second. So it will perform a group by on that city level, and it is displaying the value. Or if you want, you can see the visual level filter. It will showcase that boss Guntur is having a 20 records or 30 records, Chennai is having a 50 records, Hyderabad is having a 20 records. It will showcase. Now, so here by default, each dimension is going to perform a group by operation. It is displaying the data. Now you have a business requirement that, boss, I don't care about the other cities. I want to see what is the amount paid for Guntur and Hyderabad in a single bar. Hyderabad and a Guntur single bar, and remaining all keep it as part of others. I don't care about that. If you have that kind of requirement, what you need to do, on top of your city column, again you need to perform a group by. So by default, whatever the city column contains a distinct values, it is perform a group by. Now your requirement is, on top of a city, again you need to perform another grouping, which is going to aggregate, like which is going to group the Guntur and Hyderabad as a single value, remaining are as the other value. Instead of doing at a database level, PowerBI is providing an option that a new group. What you can do is, city name, on top of a city, you can create a group. You can create a group, mention that the Guntur and Hyderabad as a single group. and remaining all as part of other group. Or for now, like let me create this group. I created one group. Now, instead of actual city, I will use the group that I created now. What it is displaying? The Guntur and Hyderabad as a single column and remaining all are other columns. Let's assume you don't want the other columns. You just want to mention them as others. You don't care about the other columns. You just want to represent as others. Then what you can do is you can modify that group. Include other group. Click on OK. So here you can see Guntur and Hyderabad is representing in a single bar. Remaining all are representing in another bar. So if you want to accomplish this functionality, if you don't have this new group option, what you need to do in your source system or here, what you need to write is you need to write a switch case. Wherever the value is a Guntur, you are going to represent as a Guntur and Hyderabad. Wherever it is a Hyderabad, it's a Guntur and Hyderabad. Other than that, everything as other. You need to create a one column by writing an expression, and then after you need to get that dimension, you need to use it. But here with a manual clicks, within a less than a minute of time, you are able to accomplish that functionality. So this is what a group functionality. Group functionality is nothing but if you want to perform a grouping on top of a dimension, if you want to create a new dimension on top of another dimension by grouping the values or by grouping the category values, you can do it with the help of a new group option. So once you create a group, you have an option called edit group. You can modify that group. You can mention that Mumbai and Coimbatore as part of one group. You can create it. Remaining all are others. So click on OK. You can see that Coimbatore and Mumbai, Guntur and Hyderabad and remaining all others. However you want, you can make it with the help of that group option. So that is what a group option, which you can define your own dimension based on the existing dimensions. Any questions up to here, whatever I covered? Anyone has any questions up to here?
Actually, I have one question.
Go ahead, sir.
Your row level filter.
1 second, sir. Can you speak loud?
Yeah, actually, I have one question on row level filter. Isn't that row level filter and another filter, right?
1 second, Jogi, 1 second.
Okay.
Jogi, 1 second. Can you speak loud?
Yeah, I have one question on row level filter.
Okay.
Can you please explain that one?
What is row level filter? Where I covered that one?
Actually, you mentioned that in interview they will ask row level and one more question.
Row level context. Oh, okay. So what is a row context and filter context, right?
Yes.
That will be covered as part of coming session.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. So that is what in a previous session the DAX is going to the batch is going to about to end. So for them, I am just displaying we are in a discussion of the filters categories. So whenever you are filtering this one, the value is not getting filtered. Okay, or whenever we are calculating this one, sometimes we are going to represent a percent of all. So at that time, what I need to represent is out of this value. So out of these three values, this value is how much out of all? So 27,800 by the 58080 I need to calculate. So at that time I need to hide some filters, and whatever you understood, the last thing that I am covering to them, that use relationships, that is also containing that concept. So the context concept is very, very important, which will be covered as part of a DAX coming sessions.
Okay.
Yes. Bala, you have some question?
Page level filter, can we exclude any of the visuals from the filters? Like for example, when you take in the card, it's the total amount, right, from day 1 to till now. Can we exclude the filters for only that particular visual?
Yes, we can. That is what one of the functionality. So like your requirement is clear, and there are some scenarios where we are going to get the data from a different sources where there is no link. Where there is no link means, so I am representing a data. I have web analytics data is there. Web analytics data means in my site how many people are accessing my website, what is the average session time, what is the bounce rate, or what are the number of unique visits, what are the new users, who, like how many new users are there. That is the data coming from a web analytics. And I have a social analytics data is there. How many followers are there, how many likes are there, how many comments are there. Those are the two different categories of data. Those two data I am showcasing together in a single page of my Power BI report. At that time, I need to like remove the filter between them. So if I click on something, what it will do, it will filter all the visualizations in the page generally. You need to exclude some visualizations from the filtering. In order to do that, we have two different options are there. One is in a Power BI perspective. The second one is a DAX perspective, whatever Jogi asked. So Power BI perspective, with the help of formatting, you can do it. So here, with the help of a format, with the help of edit interactions, we can do it. So we are going to cover that one in next one day after.
Okay, Srinivas, fine.
So like your question is, whenever we are filtering, you don't want to filter that one as part of that filter, right? So let me showcase now itself. Like here, you have a value which is nothing but amount paid. So I don't know why it is 28k is representing. I think we filtered something. So 58k. So whenever I perform, like I have a slicer, whenever I select the city name, that is going to filter that one. Now your requirement is, if I select this one, it should not filter, right, Bala?
Yes, yes, yes.
So if you want that kind of functionality, yes, we have. You can select that one. You need to select that one. Edit interactions. By default, all the visuals will get filtered. You don't want to perform a filter here. Remove the filter. Click on it. So now click on Guntur or anything. It is not getting filtered.
So we need to select the filter, I mean slicer, and then go to format, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the same concept for all the visualizations. This also will be asked as part of interview as a scenario. Okay. So boss, we have 10 visuals are there. Some visuals, by default, all the visuals will get filtered. But I don't want to perform a filter for a few visualizations. How I can achieve? Or what is the functionality of edit interactions? This we faced 1.5 years back. Okay. But anyways, this is one of the important functionality that we need to understand. We'll cover that one anyways. So anyone has any questions up to here, whatever we covered? Ranjit, Arup, Amit. Okay, fine. So that is what the options of the column. So we are done the complete fields option except new measure, new column, quick measure and edit queries and hierarchy. The options associated with the tables, options associated with the columns and the filters we are done. And the next one is, actually I need to start a new measure, new column, quick measure, but I'm not going to start that one. The next option is the options associated with the pages. I said by default a report will come with a one page, and if you want multiple pages you can create it with the help of plus option. If you don't want it, you can delete it. You can delete a page by clicking on into mark here or right click on it and you can delete it. And if you want to rename it, yes, for every report in a live environment you need to provide a proper name to the page, proper title to the page. So if you want to rename it, you can rename it. And similarly, one of the new functionality that is came recently as part of this month release is hide a page. Previously we have only three options: delete a page, rename a page duplicate a page. But delete a page, it is going to delete. Rename, it is going to rename. And duplicate means, as part of our reporting, we are going to follow the same design for all the pages. Each page we are going to represent one entity. We are going to follow the most of the cases the same design, or at least part of a page same design we are going to follow, at least the filters and all. At that time, you can reuse your functionality by duplicating your page. You can duplicate the page and you can change the filters, you can change the titles, so you can duplicate a page. These three functionalities are there already. Recently they introduced a concept called hiding a page. If you want to hide a page, you can hide it. As per, let's assume you are doing some development, and you need to present something, and for that you cannot remove the in progress activities. You can hide that pages with the help of hide option. As in a development environment, it is showcasing, even though that was hidden, it is showcasing. But if I publish it, the users will not see this one. So those are the four options that are there at a page level. And similarly, if you want to unhide, you can unhide it. And if you want to provide some background color to your page, you can click on it. And here under a visualizations, click on a white space under visualizations. Here you have that page background option. You can provide a page background color. Transparency, as I said, 0 means full color, towards 100 that will be color will get saturated. And if you want to provide some background image, you can provide a background image there. You can provide some background image there, and you can towards 100 the color will get saturated. Okay, so this transparency, from a 0 to 100 the color will get saturated. Wherever you observe transparency, 0 means full, towards 100 the color will get saturated. If you want to provide some background image, you can provide it. Whenever you use the image, you have a fit and fill option is there. If you want to fit it, you can fit it. Okay, so that is what the page background. There are different sizes of pages will be there, not like SSRS, like A4, A5, A3, A2, A1 are different sizes, but you have some sizes will be there, different file sizes like page sizes. You can select whatever you want, or you can define your custom size. You can increase the height and width however you want. Height and width you can increase based on your requirements. Okay, so these are the different page sizes based on the KPIs that you are going to represent. Sometimes your business is going to ask only 3 KPIs. They don't want anything. So at that time you cannot keep a big page, right? You need to restrict the page size. So you can control the page size from here based on your needs. And page name you can provide here also. And Q&A is nothing but QATAR intelligence. Like here it might be question and answers you can consider, but as part of a Power BI you have a QATAR intelligence is there. So where you can provide your columns here, automatically the visualization will be created. We'll see that option as part of a dashboards, or as part of in next 2 sessions we are going to observe how the Power BI QATAR intelligence will work. Okay, those are the options associated with the page. I am closing here. We'll continue from here in the next session. In the next session we are going to see what are the new measure, new column, quick measure. We'll see in the first 30 minutes of time. Then after we are going to continue with the options associated over here. Like there are 6 tabs are there, out of that 5 tabs are important. So we are going to start with, from a home tab we are going to cover all the options. Home tab, view tab, modeling, the format, data drill. In the next 1 hour or next 1.5 hours we are going to, or next 2 hours you can consider, we are going to see all the options associated with these tabs: home, view, modeling, help, format, data drill, and data view, relationship view. We are going to see in next 2 sessions. Then after we are going to continue with the edit queries option. Then after data sources, then after visualizations. That is the plan. So tomorrow we are continuing with the new measure, new column, quick measure. So anyone having any questions up to here, whatever I covered today? Arup, Bala, Ranjit?
No, Srinivas from my side.
Okay. So I hope
No,
you are able to. Yes. So I hope you are able to access the videos which I shared. If not, Ranjit, I think yesterday I given the access. So you will be able to see the videos from your Google Drive. Google Drive here. Let it load. You need to open shared with me. Shared with me. Under that, you will have a folder. By default, you will have two folders. One is for evening batch, another one is a morning batch. So as some people are joining at evening and morning, so and as it is a demo stage, okay, till tomorrow as it is a demos for a morning, and so I just given the access for both the drives. Whatever the trainer that you want, you can select. So you can see the folders over here with the name called. One is Power BI Class 5 Srinivas, which contains the last two videos. You can go through it, and today's video I will upload after 2 or 3 hours of time. You can go through it. If anyone is new today, you can go through it, and if you have any questions, you can come back us. And similarly, the evening batch drive also updated, which contains the later name, like here the videos will be uploaded. So if you are unable to access the videos, please let me know, and if you have any other questions or concerns, also drop me a mail so that I will get back to you people. That's it from my end. We'll connect tomorrow on same time, and we'll continue with the remaining things. Have a good day all. Thanks for joining, and bye now.
Thank you, Srinivas. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Srini. Hello, Srini? Hello? Hello, Srini?
Someone speaking?
Yes, Jogi here.
Yes, Jogi.
Yeah, I need to talk about a few minutes here.
So one second then.
Okay.
Aruba, any questions? Say I have to talk with you. So tomorrow is fine.
So I will call to your mobile. Is it fine?
Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
So, and can you please give me one text message on my WhatsApp?
Yeah, sure. I'll do it right now.
Unfortunately, my recent WhatsApp messages are took backup, and recent conversations I don't have. So just give me one text message. I will call you once I reach office.
Okay, sure. I'll do it right now. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.